Hello, hello, hello. For some of you folks that just gone to the YouTube channel, it's been a long time no see. But we're going to get you hooked up. And no, I don't know how to slow down the chat on YouTube, okay? Okay. If you're on here, do me a favor and X out of the chat and hit the subscribe button along with the little bell. Hello, Kathy Clark. Hello, Shasta. Hello, Amy. It's going so fast I can't read them. Hello, Tracy Tasson. MAGA Chick. MAGA Chick. Did you get in touch with Marcus? I hope you did. Mark N or NG. Okay, we're going to let a few more people get on here before we get started. I hope tonight's test went great. Thank you so much for helping out on that. We may need a bigger server. Okay, so we're testing it. We went from 0 to like 50,000 people in just like this. And so, you know, we've got them scrambling, but they are doing the job. And Scott and Doris Davis in the house. Hello, Lisa Bruce also from St. Louis. Hello, Linda Howard, Valley Grove, West Virginia. Betty Sheets, Laura Howgood, Val Brooks from Waco, Texas, somebody. I used to live in Waco, Texas. Lived there for 4 years. All over town. Lived on Lake Shore, by the lake. Lived lived in a few places around Baylor. I've lived all over that place. Been to all the restaurants. Elite Cafe, La Fiesta. Hey, love you too, Shirley from Maine. All right, we're going to get started here in just a second, guys. We got some good stuff for you tonight. I hope you're ready. It's going to be interesting. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully you read my post on Facebook or MeWe, and it's actually posted from my wife's because I'm still in jail. Okay, and so anyway, so that's the deal. All right. People are sending messages. They did not read the post. You have to read. I know we don't like doing that, but sometimes you have to read the post. Okay? All right. So please stop sending messages like that over and over. Okay? All right. We're going to be, so hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to go from the website. Okay, I've got to get back with the webmasters, but I think we crashed it. It was so many people, so we may have to get a bigger server, so we're not sure. Again, we're playing it by ear. We're learning. Thank you for helping us tonight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We got about 10,000 on here, and but only half of you have pushed the thumbs up. So please, if you're on here and you're in the chat, X out of the chat for just a minute. Hit the subscribe button and the bell, okay, and the thumbs up. Please do that for me, okay? Please do that for me, all right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started, and a lot of things happening, man, a lot of things happening. But we're going to start off with what's going on this weekend in Dalton, Georgia, right down the road from me here outside Chattanooga, about 30 minutes. And so I'm going to go to that. I'm going to get that ready, pulled up here. Okay. And I'm going to I don't know what we're going to do without the technical difficulties after tonight. I don't know what we're going to do. Okay? But this is Patriots Unite, Saturday, May the 8th, in 3 days. It's going to be in Dalton, Georgia, at the Dalton Convention Center. And featured speaker is going to be Lynn, the Truth Teller Wood. Lynn Wood, Mr. Fire himself, is going to be there, along with Candace Taylor, who's running for governor of Georgia. You can see her there on the left. And then Angela Stanton King, MLK's niece, Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, is going to be there. There on the right, up by the Bible that Lynn's holding. And then, of course, to the left there, you see another lady that's a TikTok influencer. You see somebody ugly there underneath Lynn that's pretty familiar looking probably, okay? Yours truly. And there's going to be a lot of other people that's going to be speaking at that event, okay? And that's going to be, and here's the way you can get tickets to it, okay? I'm going to just walk you through it right now, okay? Let me back this up a hair. I'm going to show you how you can do tickets, all right? So basically, if you go to eventbrite.com, and that's EVENTBRITE. It's not bright the way you really spell bright. It's BRITE, eventbrite.com. Type in up there in the top right left corner up here, you'll see it says search, okay? Type in Patriots Unite, and it's going to take you, it'll come up there, Dalton, it'll say Dalton. And you're going to go to that, and then you can get registered right here. Tickets are $50. They're going to be, again, that's going to be Saturday from 2 to 5 Eastern. VIP, I think, is $100. If you get VIP, you get to come early and meet all the speakers. And I'll probably be standing over there in the corner with nobody to talk to, because everybody I know is going to go talk to Candace Taylor and Lynn Wood. And that's okay too. I can't wait to meet both of them. And so that is going to be, that'll be from 1 to 2 will be the VIP. And then from 2 to 5 will be the event. Okay. And we are expecting a big crowd. Get on there now, get you a ticket, or as soon as we get done here tonight. All right. That's going to be a big one. I cannot wait to be on. I never thought I'd be on the stage with Lynn Wood. Can't wait to meet him. What a patriot. What a great man of God. All right. So let's go to the next thing. Here's what I want to, I got a couple things I want to show you tonight before we get into the shocking information that I'm going to give you. Okay. Here we go. Here's the first one.
Here's an option. There was a USA Today essay that was published by a former prosecutor named Michael Stern. And I discussed this briefly on radio yesterday. He says, we've got to shun folks. We've got to shun people into getting vaccinated. The shunning suggestion is this. Businesses should make vaccination a requirement for employment. A COVID outbreak can shut down a business and be financially devastating, and failure to enforce basic health and safety measures is not fair to employees who have to work in offices, factories, and stores where close contact is required. Things should get personal too. People should require friends to be vaccinated to attend the barbecues and birthday parties they host. Friends don't let friends spread COVID. Friends don't let friends spread COVID. Yesterday's survey question at Smerconish.com asked whether it's time to shun. 7,241 people responded. What do you think the percentage was who said yes? How about 73%? Here's an
73% of the people responded said we should shun people that are not vaccinated. Did you hear that? Folks, we've got to get ahead of this. You got to get ahead of it. Okay, and that's why we're organizing now. That's why we're organizing now. Again, I'm going to give you this information, and I'm going to, people are saying that they can't hear it good. I'm going to move up my table here. So just hang tight a minute. I may have a little, hey, we got a little technical difficulties here. What would a Brad show be without technical difficulties? Okay, now, okay, so we'll get a little bit closer. All right, we're not going to have to do this anymore soon. Okay, but here's the deal. I was talking about this last night, and I'm going to give you, again, I'm going to give you the email that you need to be sending stuff to get involved. We're going to get you hooked up. Our goal is to get you hooked up with people in your area, where no matter where you live in the United States, okay? If you would like to be in, you want to be involved, you want to step up, you want to be somebody that's not sitting on the couch anymore, then you need this email address. Her name is Glenda Pappu, Pappu. Her email address is glendapappu @gmail.com. You can also email J Hall, JHALL @gmail.com. Okay? Either one of those, they work together. It's actually a mother and daughter, but not a kid. I mean, the daughter's probably my age. Okay? Maybe not that old. Okay, but anyway, you need to email those people. Okay? All right? Okay, so here we go. Here we go. All right. I want to show you next. I thought this was very, very interesting. You're going to see General Flynn here, and he's going to be put on the spot about 17. About our friend 17. Watch his answer. Listen to his answer. Watch the video, 33 seconds. Here we go. See, you got to be smart enough to go over here and click unmute. Oh, now it'll work. Here we go. Okay, Miss Glenda just texted me. I think she meant J Hall 21. She said I forgot the 21. So it's J Hall 21. The numbers 2 and 1. J Hall 21 @gmail.com. Okay? Here we go. Listen closely.
Hey, Flynn, how you doing? Pretty good. How are you doing? Did you believe that QAnon was real?
You mean QAnon?
No,
What's so funny about that?
No, QAnon. No, because there was just the HBO doc, and it said that Ron Watkins is QAnon. Do you think Ron Watkins is QAnon?
Oh, seriously, why did you laugh at that?
Do you believe that QAnon was an actual military personnel?
Why do you laugh at what I just said?
I'm laughing because it's funny, because it's so fucking stupid. Because Q is just a dumb thing. It's funny. Hey, Flynn, how you doing?
Great.
I want you to notice something. Now, this is General Flynn, who they set up, who they put through hell and back, his whole family. Listen to his response. If there's anybody in the know, it's General Flynn. Okay? If there's anybody in the know, it's General Flynn. Listen to his response. Again, here we go. It's very telling.
Hey, Flynn, how you doing?
Great.
Pretty good. How are you doing? Did you believe that QAnon was real?
You mean QAnon?
No,
What's so funny about that?
No, QAnon. No, because there was just the HBO doc and it said that Ron Watkins is QAnon. Do you think Ron Watkins is QAnon?
Seriously, why did you laugh at that?
Do you believe that QAnon was an actual military personnel?
Why do you laugh at what I just said?
I'm laughing because it's funny, because it's so fucking stupid. Because Q is just a dumb thing. It's funny.
Okay, I know some of y'all are saying you can't hear. I don't really know why. It's really loud. Okay, to make sure you turn your speakers up as far as you can, because I've got this loud in my house right now. But here's what Flynn said. Flynn basically avoided the question. Flynn he said, "You mean blue Anon?" And then, of course, what happened? The guy just kept asking him, and he said, "Why are you laughing at that? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?" And he never would answer the question. It's what he told me by what he didn't say. It was way louder what he did not say than what he said. Okay, I've got a lot of you saying that you can hear it just fine. Okay, so if you can't hear, turn yours up on your end. We're doing the best we can tonight. Again, we're going to have all this solved here very, very soon with the website. And okay. Now, I referred to this last night, and I had some people send it to me again. I don't know if they didn't hear it or they just said were affirming it to me. But you need to listen again to what President Trump is fixing to say in this interview with Candace Owens. Okay? Guys, if it's muzzled, I can't do anything about it. Okay? Just do the best you can. This is all I can do. All right? So you can stop telling me on there. It's nothing I can do about it. All right? Okay. So here we go. This is Candace Owens. She's interviewing President Trump yesterday morning. Listen to what he says right here. And I'm going to tell you something. My 14-year-old son caught it. He was listening. He was in the room with me when I played this minute. It's about 1 minute and 5 seconds. And as soon as Trump said something, he said, "Dad, stop it. Did you just hear what he said?" And I said, "Did you hear me talking about that last night?" And he said, "No." He said, I just heard it just then. All right, here we go. Listen to this.
One more question, because I'm sure you've gotten this question tons of times, but are you going to run in 2024? And if so, can I be your vice president?
Oh, that's very interesting. Wow, what a good choice that would be. That would be fantastic.
Trump Owens, 24?
Yeah, I think that's a great, you would be fantastic. And, I really appreciate the job you do and everybody does. The answer is I'm absolutely enthused. I look forward to doing an announcement at the right time. As you know, it's very early, but I think people are going to be very, very happy when I make a certain announcement. And, for...
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? I'm going to start over, and I'm going to let it play all the way through this time. Here we go. Listen to what he says.
One more question, because I'm sure you've gotten this question tons of times, but are you going to run in 2024? And if so, can I be your vice president?
Oh, that's very interesting. Wow, what a good choice that would be. That would be fantastic.
Trump Owens, 24?
Yeah, I think that's a great, you would be fantastic. And, I really appreciate the job you do and everybody does. The answer is I'm absolutely enthused. I look forward to doing an announcement at the right time. As you know, it's very early, but I think people are going to be very, very happy when I make a certain announcement. And, for campaign finance reasons, you really can't do it too early because it becomes a whole different thing. Otherwise, I'd give you an answer that I think you'd be very happy with. But so we are looking at that very, very seriously. And All I say is stay tuned.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll take you at your word, and that means that in 2024, Trump and Owens are going to be on the ticket.
Stay tuned, he said. Stay tuned. Ooh, mercy, this is going to be good. Okay, all right, so now we're going to get to tonight's main entree, okay? Let me turn around because I want to speak to you real quick before I just put it on. I'm going to share something with you tonight, and I want to be upfront with you. There's going to be certain people on the show tonight that's probably going to be uncomfortable with what I'm fixing to show you. Okay? You're not going to like it. Let me say this. And I want you to hear me carefully. Okay? Because all of you patriots, I have the utmost respect for. I love you. And I don't want you to take anything personal. Okay? It's not personal. I'm going to share some information with you here over the next hour. Okay? And I want you to watch it with an open mind. Okay? I don't want you to get mad and say somebody's attacking you. No one's attacking anyone. Okay? But this is information that I believe once you see it, and even if it gets under your burr a little bit at the beginning, if you'll just listen and follow along and stay with us, you're going to be shocked at the amount of proof here. Okay? All right? So, again, it's just like I've talked about before, where we've talked about the Pope and we've talked about what's going on with the Catholic Church. I'm not against people that's Catholic. Some of my best friends are Catholic. Okay? I love them to death. That doesn't mean what we're showing is not the truth. Okay? So I want you to be open-minded with what I'm fixing to show you and just listen. Just listen. Okay? Here we go.
Well, I need to...
Let me tell you who this is. This guy is named Altion Charles. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Altion Charles. He is from Australia, and he was the winner of the X Factor many years ago. Okay? This right here is unbelievable.
tell you all something, and it's the most important thing I could ever say to you. In a little while, you'll know for certain that I'm putting my very life on the line and the safety of my family by sharing this with you. So I hope that buys me at least a few minutes of your precious time. If this video is taken down, it wasn't taken down by me, all right? And I'm partly doing this to wash your blood off my hands because God saved my life on a midnight highway one fateful night for this very cause. And he's watching, as he clearly proved that night. See, I should be dead. My sleeping driver was hurling us toward a concrete wall at 100 kilometers an hour when an angel of God was sent to wake me up from a deep sleep with just a whisper and just in time. And for what? Not so I could win X Factor or buy that dream Porsche or marry that dream girl, but for this, for these words, for this moment, so I can tell you something, so I can warn you about something. Nothing could be more important than this. So cancel that movie you wanted to watch, skip that gym session, Don't scroll down to the next post. Just stay with me. Stay with me. Now, don't worry about the quality of the video or the audio. Just focus on the content. Listen to my voice and trust your eyes. Most of you won't care for the shocking thing I'm about to expose to you because no one cares. No one cares. Not my exes, former friends, former bandmates, work colleagues, parents, family members, strangers. No one cares. But still, I'm doing all this for one person. One single human being out there. God is calling you, and He's looking for the last ones before the storm. And if you think you know where I'm going with this, please keep watching, because the most important part of this video comes at the end. And everything you're about to hear is a fact, and I'll prove it to you. I will leave no room for doubt. And nothing can stop what's coming. So this isn't a call for an uprising, boycott, protest. No. The Titanic is sinking, and it's unstoppable. All I'm going to do is point you to the life raft. And if you want to ignore me, then fine, proceed at your own peril. God knows I've tried. If you want to mock me, then at least share the video. Let others mock me too. Tell your friends. Check this freak out. Anything to help me reach someone who has eyes to see and ears to hear. And like I said, in a few minutes, you'll know why my well-being is in danger, and that of my loved ones too. Now let me ask you something real quick. Who do you think, generally speaking, runs the world? What type of people are the leaders of our countries and corporations, and the rich and the famous too? I mean, like, are they Christians? Do Christians run the world? Well, no, of course not. Buddhists? No. Do Muslims run the world? No. What about atheists? It's got to be atheists, right? Because we've come such a long way as a society, and atheism is the rational state of mind for the modern type of person, right? No. What about a mixture of people? Different types of people run the world. Let me tell you something. All the leaders from Africa to Europe to the Middle East, Israel, Syria, Iran, all the way to the Americas, all these people, and we'll get to the celebrities in a second, they're not atheists, Buddhists, or Muslims. No. What if I told you that they all belong to the same religion, a secret religion, one that none of them are allowed to talk about, one that you should worry about because it affects you beyond belief in ways that you never imagined? Before I tell you what this worldwide secret religion thinks of you and plans to do to you, let me tell you what this religion is. And how do I know about this religion? Because I used to belong to it. And today I'm renouncing it publicly, breaking my oath of silence, which they imposed upon me and every single other member during ceremonies under the penalty of death. That's why my life is in danger. Every person you're about to see has taken the same oath as I did, over and over, no matter where on earth they're from, including Scott Morrison, your Prime Minister and mine. But see, I was plucked from it, saved from its camouflaged clamps, from its extravagant deception and its spiritual corpse, by none other than God Almighty. No one else is going to tell you this. Not your favorite singer or politician, who more than likely also belong to this hidden religion. No way will they speak because they love it. They love their lives. They love their success, the money, the worship they receive. And then there are those who have left but have never broken their oath out of fear. Trust me, you don't know who you're messing with here. The few that have spoken out, well, they lost everything. Or either their reputations and livelihoods are threatened or destroyed, or they're framed for a crime and end up in jail, or they're murdered and made to look like an accident or suicide. Now, just for the record, the God that saved me, which God was that? Jesus Christ, of course, the one and only. And he is the only one they hate, along with his disciples. So I'm invincible until he's done with me. That's why I don't fear him. Now please don't let the name of Jesus scare you off just yet. Because if you're an atheist, you're especially going to want to hear this. Christians and atheists are the most pathetic bunch in the eyes of this ancient religion, the one that rules them all. And I'm only going to show you the tip of the iceberg. And just like an iceberg, the full body of this secret religion continues down past the line of sight, beneath the ocean. It widens in mass and scope until it continues further into the depths, into ever-increasing darkness and invisibility, until it reaches its foundations, which is firmly established in thick blackness, completely unimaginable and not perceived at all to those who only ever get to see its tip peeking out of the ocean top, including most of its members. At least 75%, 80%. And unless you're a member of this religion and this secret society, as they call it, you won't be granted access to the world stage or of a position of influence. It's become a prerequisite for success now. Now that they've gained pretty much full control and their members own every place of prominence and power. So brace yourself for the truth that has been hiding in plain sight every day of your life, and for the mind-blowing, out-of-this-world climax to this video. Now look at this. There's a few different ways they display their allegiance. They don't do it often, and some don't do it at all. But most of them can't help themselves, because when they do it in public, it's a hidden statement. And that statement gives them a lot of satisfaction. The celebrities usually cover one eye, or hide it in some way, and obscure it, or emphasize it like this. Or they close one eye, or peek through it, through this hand gesture, all to highlight one single eye. It's called the all-seeing eye. Other times they'll just display a drawn eye somewhere, or a tattoo of it. The other method they use is what's commonly known as the hidden hand. Here, for example, River Phoenix is doing both the hidden hand and the all-seeing eye, so you can see the direct connection between the two. But in the political world, usually it's done with the hidden hand. And of course, this. That's a secret handshake for them.
Now let me say this. You know, this is absolutely true beyond, and if you watch this, it will be beyond proof, okay? But I will say this, you know, some of these handshakes, it's hard to tell because people are leaning over and stuff. Like he's even got one of Trump doing it. I don't believe that for 1 second, okay? But I'm just saying, so some of this, you know, again, the handshaking thing, I'm not, you know, a lot of times it's hard to see because they're leaning over. Okay.
Members of this secret one-eyed religion. We'll start with Scott Morrison here, hidden in plain sight as usual, for everyone to not see as usual. Look at the handshake. I was taught this very handshake, or grip as they call it, during my time in this great school of deception. Here's a picture of a normal handshake, and here's the secret handshake. Normal, secret. Now here's Scott Morrison with Daniel Andrews. Normal handshake, secret handshake.
It's hard to tell.
All of them are sworn to secrecy under the penalty of death. And remember, I'll prove it to you very soon. Here's former Prime Minister John Howard giving the secret handshake, and Kevin Rudd bowing down to this bloke in front of Julia Gillard, all of whom are members of the religion. And Tony Abbott, you'll see in a second, and he's Julia again. Now, I once heard Julia being asked in a brief interview on TV while she was the Prime Minister. The interviewer asked her, "What religion are you?" My ears pricked up as I was eating breakfast and I froze to hear the answer. And she actually said, with a sinister smirk, "I'm a member of a secret society. Next question, please." And what happened? Nothing. No one cared. No one cared that the person who represents them just confessed that she's a member of a secret society, when the Australian society is at large the only society that should matter. And why is it a secret in the first place? I'll show you. Very soon you'll know their beliefs, and you'll know their master plan, and you'll know why they take such extreme precautions with such hideous oaths of silence under the unbelievable penalties, including death, to stay hidden from the public. So what's the name of this religion? Well, I'll tell you right now. But keep in mind, the magic word you're about to hear only hides the true religion inside of itself. That's how it's secretly flourished to spread like a cancer around the world. It's a religion within a fraternity.
That's right.
The name of the international fraternity, the one that camouflages, conceals, and cloaks the secret religion inside it, is this: Freemasonry. This is their official symbol, the square and compass. Sometimes with a G in the middle, and sometimes with the I. The all.
Let me stop and say this. There are probably millions of people that are involved in the Masons that have no earthly idea. They're low-level people. They don't know any of this. This is kept from them. He's going to prove it here over the next little bit here. Now, this is a 5-hour deal. We're not going to watch all 5 hours tonight, obviously. I'd watched it over about 3 days, okay? But we're going to watch about an hour of it, okay? Now, again, I knew people that were in the Masons. My dad wasn't, praise the Lord, but I knew people that were, good people. Maybe even pastors of churches. I mean, one of the most godly men I've ever known to walk the earth was a Mason for a while. Now, he got out. I think he found out what it was about and he got out. And he doesn't even talk about it. Yesterday, he won't even talk about it. Okay? But so, it's just because someone's in the Masons doesn't mean that they are involved in all of this stuff. They don't know. They have a lack of knowledge of what it's all about. But this guy's going to show it to you, and his proof is irrefutable. Okay, here we go.
All-seeing eye. This is the same eye that these people are referring to. That's where it comes from. The eye is sometimes placed in a triangle, and that's where this comes from. The eye in the triangle. Here's Chris Angel doing it, standing also next to a mate with a square and compass shirt on. Not a coincidence. And this is not something Jay-Z invented. This is the religion Jay-Z belongs to, and proudly, as you're about to see. The Freemasons also place the eye at the top of a pyramid, because the Egyptian pyramid is integral to their secret system. Here it is on Chris Angel's shirt and Madonna's jacket. That's a Masonic symbol. The Freemasons are sometimes called the Masons for short. It'll all come together and make sense really soon. Here it is hidden in plain sight at the Australian MTV Awards. And this is the MTV headquarters, by the way. Trust me, there's no doubting this. Here's the same eye in a pyramid on a crowded house logo. Yes, initiated Freemasons. Here's the eye on the Harbour Bridge for a New Year's Eve gig. And I wonder what that eye could be referring to. So what's the connection? The religion is the connection. There's a secret religion. And you'll see. Prepare yourself for an incredible revelation and the amazing climax that comes at the end of this video. Now, this is where the Freemasons are counting on you to lose interest, or roll your eyes and move on. Because in their beliefs, the uninitiated, meaning you, are ignorant and stupid compared to them. You're technically called the vulgar and the profane. Please prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And stay with me just a little longer. Now, the secret identity of this one eye lies in the heart of this religion that lives, breathes, feeds, and grows deep inside of Freemasonry. and Freemasonry camouflages it very successfully. So it goes undetected and undisturbed until it ultimately fulfills a thing called the Great Work. That's what they call it. And they will succeed very shortly. Nothing can stop it now. And I think some of you can sense that something's coming. And who do we trust more than anyone in the world right now? This bloke. And there he is, giving the sign of the hidden hand in front of the whole world. The hidden hand sign is technically called the sign of the master of the second veil in Freemasonry. Veil, get it? Meaning hidden.
Veil.
Now, am I saying that this thing that's happening in the world isn't real? No. I'm saying this. Spoken like a true Freemason.
The right major crisis.
And do you remember this guy?
A safe place and a dangerous place. We must treat this new world order, this new world of COVID, we must treat this new world of COVID even in our own homes.
So what is this new world order that he accidentally mentioned? It's common language in Freemasonry, and it has been for a long time. For at least this long. Since the US $1 bill. Hidden in plain sight, complete with the pyramid in the eye. It's the ultimate goal of this religion. And I'll show you what the great work is at any cost. And Australia, like every other country, is now up to its neck in this pyramidal, one-eyed occult religion. You think there's nothing hidden on our own money? What about this shadow of a bloke? Who's he hiding in the background?
Watch this.
Well, these numbers right here will tell you. And I'll show you that too. Did you know there's a giant pyramid in Australia? You want to see it? Sitting right at the center of Australian power? Look closely, because you'll miss it. Because that's the way they designed it. There it is. Hang on. Do you see it yet? And what about now? That is the frame of an Egyptian pyramid, which we can now firmly call a Masonic pyramid, complete with a missing capstone. And if you're still in doubt that you're looking at a pyramid, there you go. A perfect to-scale pyramid hiding out of sight inside the giant frame that surrounds it. This is going to be so unbelievable to you that you probably won't believe it. Or if you're that far gone, if you really have lost touch with your own soul, you won't care. And you'll miss the opportunity to have your own eyes open first to the worst news and then to the best news you could ever wish for on this godforsaken planet in which you're destined to lose everything you have and everything you love until eventually you lose yourself. We have to establish what this religion that's hiding inside of Freemasonry actually is, and we will. And it's shocking, but it's reality. The symbol of the Freemasons itself is not what it seems. It's a squaring compass on the surface, but it conceals something that'll become obvious when I show you. But before we uncloak Freemasonry to see its true nature, its ugly face and its shameful nakedness, because I gave you my word that I'm going to prove it to you. This is the oath they have to take. This is the oath that I took. And your favorite actors and singers, just about all your heroes, just about, even some of your relatives, who probably have no idea what Freemasonry is or was, and why they took such gruesome oaths. So for those who are going to say, my grandfather was a Freemason, he was a great bloke, or don't the Freemasons run that retirement home? Just wait. Because I'm talking to Freemasons here as well. And don't you worry, they're going to come out of the woodworks. But they're all under the oath of secrecy. Don't forget that, no matter who they are. Adele, Neil Finn, Chris Angel, or Scott Morrison. The oath comes first. And here it is. This is taken from an official Masonic publication, not intended for the public. This is Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry. In brief, I, of my own free will and accord, do hereby promise and swear that I will never reveal any of the secrets, arts, parts, point, or points of the Master Mason's degree to any person or persons, whomsoever. This I solemnly, sincerely promise and swear, under no less penalty than having my body severed in two, my bowels taken out and burnt to ashes, so no more remembrance be had of so vile and wicked a wretch as I, should I ever violate my Master Mason's obligation. So now you know what they think of me. I'm a vile and wicked wretch for breaking my oath. So how can anyone ever trust a Freemason when he speaks about Freemasonry? Unless you're speaking to a rare breed like me. Never reveal any parts, not even a single point, to anyone. Here's another penalty from another degree, this time from Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, a legitimate Masonic publication for instructing and laying out the ritual. Binding myself under no less penalty than having my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea. These are the penalties they swear to. And yes, the lodge has penal authority to execute. This is how they look when they're initiated. They have to remove all their clothing and jewelry, including wedding rings, crucifixes, the most meaningful things to them, no matter what. They have to go, because complete allegiance to the society is required. You're blindfolded at every initiation because you symbolize someone who lives in utter darkness before you receive the light of Freemasonry. And that light will become so obvious to you in a bit. The secret that is being unveiled by incremental degrees to the candidates in the lodge is staring us in the face in daily life. And that truth is pretty scary if all you know and all you have is this world. But they know much more than that. At one point, when the blindfold comes off, this is what you're surrounded by. Blokes dressed like this, holding swords to your face. And that's nothing compared to what comes later. So your own wife or daughter don't qualify for discussion in these matters, unless they too are initiated to the same level as you. So please don't tell me that your grandfather or your neighbour is a Freemason and that there's nothing wrong with Freemasonry. How would you know when they're under oath never to reveal anything to anyone? The whole successful system is constructed by the art of lying to the public and to their own members of lower degrees. And we trust these people? Now here are the illustrations for the signs and handshakes. And you only receive them after the oath has been taken. This is the sign you do upon entering and exiting the ritual room while facing the Grand Master. It stands for throat slit, and it goes like this. A continual reminder of where you are and what awaits you if you have a change of heart or rebellious spirit. And here you have the illustrations of the secret handshakes. Look familiar? And this is the sign of the Master of the Second Veil. See? Purely Masonic. You don't pick this stuff up off the street. Now this is how it's generally executed in the public arena. Sneaky, sneaky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So when you see this, or this, you know for certain where it comes from and who they belong to. Look at Crema on the front page of the privately circulated Freemason magazine. Officially a Mason, like fellow brother Tony Abbott, and he's doing this. That's a direct link to the mysterious all-seeing eye of Freemasonry. There it is on the walls of the inside of the lodge room. So there's no reason to doubt that those who do this belong to this. This is another sign they do quite prominently. It's the sign of silence. This is from Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry again, a finger over the lips. Now, these signs are slightly morphed over time, so covering the mouth in a variety of ways is the expression of being bound to secrecy and silence. Silence or death, as little Wayne here is portraying. Here's the oath of a second-degree Freemason on page 21 of Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry. Binding myself under no less penalty than having my left breast torn open and my heart and vitals taken out, thrown over my left shoulder, should I willfully transgress any part of this my solemn oath. In this degree, the penalty is to have your whole body dissected, bowels removed and heart cut into pieces and thrown into a field where you are eaten by animals, all to protect the secret religion of the rich, powerful and famous. In the Knights Templar degree, the penalty is to have your head cut off. Listen to this penalty. And this one has happened throughout history more than any other, because it works so well without having to resort to death or the threat of death, and it's easier to execute. Now, this applies to all areas of industry. It's done through the ruining of your reputation by fellow Freemasons, pointing him out to the world as an unworthy vagabond, by opposing his interests, making life very hard for you, by deranging his business, by transferring his character wherever he may go, and by exposing him to the contempt of the whole fraternity, the secret society, and the world. Wow. How many people do you think they've threatened, ruined, framed, cheated, and utterly destroyed to protect their secret religion? And in case you think the Masonic Lodge hasn't got the authority over the initiates, especially the ones in the high degrees, this is from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Under mandate, the orders and decrees of the Grand Master or of a Grand Lodge are called mandates, and implicit obedience to them is a Masonic obligation. And in Sickles' Monitor of Freemasonry, you plainly see they have a right to kill. A lodge has a right to exercise penal authority over its members, exercise the penalties. So don't let a Mason tell you, oh no, that's just symbolic, the oath. Their laws are above the law of the land, and the proof are the oaths themselves. Because in normal society, you can't ask someone to accept having their throat slit as a penalty in order to be a member of any club or workplace. Unheard of. But not in Freemasonry, not in the secret society world. I told you, you don't know who you're dealing with and what's coming for us all. Here's what they think of the public. Here in speaking to the candidate, it's stated, but have a care not to defile the sanctuary by a spirit of curiosity, meaning don't try to join us just for fun. And take care not to increase the number of the vulgar and profane, meaning don't invite too many outsiders to join because they're vulgar and they're profane. This is more or less an invitation-only fraternity. Here from the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry again, written for Masons only and written by 33rd degree Masonic legend Albert Mackey, stating the same thing. Masonic definition of profane. One who is ignorant of the sacred rites of Freemasonry. One who is not allowed to enter the temple and behold the mysteries. And here, being uninitiated. That's the world at large. And here from this old ritual book written by the same legendary author, in the 33rd degree initiation, the Mason drinks wine from a human skull, which has been the cause for a few to leave Masonry, because they wonder, whose skull is this? In the 30th degree, part of the ritual involves stabbing skulls. Illustrated right here. The process of submitting the member further and further involves things like this. See, the candidate who's seeking admission into the next degree to receive more light has to be humiliated and intimidated. This guy here has his foot on the candidate's head. This is what our celebrities and politicians and the most prominent members of our society have done and continue to do. No one is exempt from this. And this is the intimidating and frightening path that you must take that binds you to the secret society before you are revealed the true beliefs of the religion.
Okay, I want to pause right here for just a second, and I want to, I've noticed a lot of comments in here. I want you to understand, we've talked about this for a long time now. We talked about how, I've tried to tell you over and over, that this was not just about the election. This is about a lot bigger than the election. This is about taking the cabal down. This is about taking Freemasonry down. This is what Trump is exposing, all of this. Okay? Now, again, he showed a picture of Trump there. I don't believe that for 1 second. There's nobody on the face of the earth that's going to go through what Trump went through for the last 6 years. Okay? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Just absolutely eviscerated. No one would do that. I don't believe that ever. So I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, we're going to win in the end. Jesus wins. Okay? But you need to understand this stuff. So let's keep watching.
So can you see the risks I'm taking? You have to stay till the end. Don't let me down. Don't let yourself down or your fellow man. Believe me, it'll be worth it. Now here's one of the 3 greatest Freemasons of all time, who actually helped construct the 33 degrees or rituals of modern Freemasonry, Albert Pike. A hideous man with a deeply complicated mind, and one who will soon help you to see who they really are. This is how important he is to Freemasonry. He's buried here, in the House of the Temple, a Washington Masonic Lodge, just around the corner from the White House. He was called the Grand Commander, Sovereign Pontiff of Universal Freemasonry, a giant of this secret society, the only Confederate general who has his own statue. And who were the Confederates? The dudes that fought for slavery, not against it, defeated by Abraham Lincoln, who was surrounded by these Freemasons, and who was assassinated by this one, John Wilkes Booth, doing the same sign of the Master of the Second Veil. A Freemason assassinated Abraham Lincoln, undisputable when you have the eyes to see. Now, Albert Pike writes in his colossal work, which some refer to as the Bible of Freemasonry, called Morals and Dogma, and on page 113 he says, what can there be in common between the vile multitudes and the sublime wisdom? That's what Freemasons possess, sublime wisdom. That's what their secret is, it's sublime. The secret I'll reveal to you. Now just quickly, here's Freemason Kanye West. Here he's giving the Masonic grip to his brother Mason Jay-Z. Look at the lapel he's wearing in this picture. It's the same double-headed eagle as on the front cover of the so-called Bible of Freemasonry, Morals and Dogma, written by the Grand Commander, Sovereign Pontiff of the religion that Kanye and Jay-Z have been sworn into, and thus granted access to international success. His Christian conversion isn't what it seems, and you'll soon see what job he has to do. Now look at what else Freemasonry thinks of the uninitiated, from the words of the Grand Commander himself. The truth must be kept secret, and the masses need a teaching proportioned to their imperfect reason. I hope you're listening, because we're about to get going here. These truths were covered from the common people, as with a veil. There's that veil again. And the mysteries were carried into every country. Freemasonry was secretly imported from the East into the whole world to weave its web in the darkness, to increase and advance its agenda. The sages, meaning the enlightened ones, always had an esoteric creed, unknown to the vulgar. And here he says, to the end that the vulgar herd, seeing, might not see anything, and hearing, might comprehend nothing. Are they right? Am I wasting my time, laying it all down for nothing? Because they know you so well? Your favorite celebrity and politician's secret religion is beyond the reach of the vulgar. Vulgar is what you are to them. He won't tell you. She won't tell you. And they won't tell you. Because the other obscene penalties from the rituals of Freemasonry include having your ear and hand chopped off, or both hands, being hung in your own home, and my personal favourite, having the top of your skull cut off so your brain is cooked in the sun. Now, can you imagine what they're hiding? And then the ritual monitor goes on to illustrate the same secret handshakes and signs: hidden hand, sign of silence. These people mocking us, sometimes to our face with their symbolism, while we respect them, admire them, and sometimes even love them and idolize them. All of them partaking in the same initiation rituals to belong to the secret society, a prerequisite for success, to belong to the religion that gives you everything you want, everything your heart desires, while the Gospels teach accurately that the heart is wicked. Now, here is a practical example of how Freemasonry comes first, even above the title of president. Here's a portrait of George Washington doing the sign of the Master of the Second Veil, and here, Freemason, before and above president. And if you think that's just by chance that they put the word Freemason above president, then here, read this genuine quote from Harry Truman. This should tell you how deep the consequences of Masonic initiation go and what lies deep within.
Let me say this. Again, just like a lot of people that you know, or people, maybe your parents, your grandparents were involved, there's a lot of people that's been innocently involved. You know, I don't believe George Washington for 1 second was one of the top level people in it. Again, I think, there's a lot of innocent people that don't know any better because they keep the truth from them until the end.
It's Freemasonry above everything else. There's the Queen showing her allegiance over and over. And here's the Queen leaving a very special hospital with a very special nurse. And this was the Queen's father, fully dressed in his Masonic regalia, and that God-forsaken apron they wear, which also hides something, just like the square and compass. In fact, what the apron hides is what the square and compass really represents. And it's staring you right in the face. Can you see it yet? Prince Charles, handshake, hidden hand. Prince Harry, Prince William. And here is the Grand Master of English Freemasonry, Prince Edward, also in full gear. What a lovely looking chap. And now he's giving the Masonic grip in front of this stone that was placed there to memorialize his visit to Cape Town Lodge. And what about this guy? Prince Philip, husband of the Queen. Do you remember him saying this? Yeah. And here's the article in case you think he didn't initiate a member. Do you slowly see what the Masonic mindset is? We are beneath them. And the craziest thing is, if they can turn you into what they think of you, then you deserve what's coming. It's a natural law. It's the law of nature. And I'll soon show you their real Bible, for lack of a better term, which justifies it all, and the one which guides their morals. And it makes a lot of sense, because the power of the deceptive phenomenon of Freemasonry lies in the fact that it contains real truth, intertwined with untruth. Now, this actual book that guides their morals and plans, it isn't written by hand, and it's been around longer than the Bible. So they think it's purer, sublime as they call it, and it's the foundation on which the religion is built upon. And that Bible, so-called, that unwritten Bible, is the key to unlocking its secrets. I'm going to hand you that key, and it's all going to come together like a flood. So they're going to own it all by their own words and actions. And they're going to introduce us to a new system of life, but only after a number of shocking events take place. which I'm so close to telling you about. But first, I have to tell you the name of the secret religion and the identity of the I. Now, for the few of you that think of hospitals and charities and nursing homes when you hear the word Freemason, a word which I soon hope to never speak again after this video. Well, it's a front, a cover story, and like everything else in this presentation, I'm going to show you. This too is for the poor Freemasons that are going to have the call to make an appearance in the comments section trying to defend their beloved fraternity. This is 33rd degree Freemason Manly Hall, who was named Freemason of the Century by the Scottish Rite Journal in 1990. And you'd be surprised how many Masons have never heard of him, because they don't bother entering the Masonic library and searching out the mysteries themselves. These same Masons think they know something, and they parade themselves on websites and social media, calling people like me, oh, he's just an anti-Mason, anti-Mason. Blind fools at best, deceivers at worst. Well, the Freemason of the Century wrote in this book, and in this chapter, Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization, concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect. One visible and the other invisible. The visible society is a splendid camaraderie of free and accepted men and women, enjoined to devote themselves to ethical, educational, fraternal, patriotic, and humanitarian causes and concerns like hospitals and charities. But the invisible society is a secret and most august fraternity whose members are dedicated to the service of a mysterious arcanum arcanorum, meaning mystery of mysteries. Now I wonder what that could be. So once again, don't listen to the lost or deceptive Masons that'll come here trying to cheat you from the truth, telling you that I don't know what I'm talking about or calling me an anti-Mason. Because there you just heard it. There's a Masonry for the majority of Masons, and then there's the real thing, the secret religion, which should shock you when it's announced. These same lost or deceptive Masons also love to repeat, like parrots, that Freemasonry is not a religion. Well, what does the Freemason of the Century have to say about that? From this book, he writes, Masonry is essentially a religious order. Not just a little bit religious, but essential. And here, the iconic giant of Freemasonry says in Morals and Dogma, every Masonic lodge is a temple of religion, and its teachings are instructions in religion. So please, sit down, Masons, because Freemasonry is a religion. And soon, I'm going to tell you what it's really called. Now look at this from the same book, and speaking about fellow Freemasons being initiated in the lodge room. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations.
You see what that says right there? Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate. These are people that are initiated into it, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. This is coming from their literature. This is their literature, not someone made it up. Now, we're not going to go much longer here tonight because I know it's getting late, but I want you to hang with me if you can, because I've got a short little video I'm going to show you. This a little 3-minute video at the end of tonight that's going to, I think, be powerful.
Their true explication is reserved for the princes of Freemasonry. The whole body of the royal art, which you'll know all about soon, was hidden so carefully in the higher degrees. So you see, the whole thing is built on lies, and the ultimate liar lives inside the triangle above the pyramid, so that even the highest Masons are living a monstrous lie. Wake up, Masons, even you are deceived, just as the public is, unless of course you're hungry enough to want to acquire all the power and climb up that pyramid closer to the eye that sees all. In that case, close your mouth, go back to your lodge, and good luck to you. Or of course, grow some kahunas and be honest. But then you can't, right? Because you'd be breaking your oath. Sad. Oh, it's good to be free, under the wing of the true master. Stick around if you're interested, and you'll get to see some wonder. When I pull that cloak called Freemasonry right off, and those that are still here watching will get to see the true colours of the nakedness and the horror of the Masonic Lodge, and the religion that rules them all. Another thing that Masons will repeatedly say is that this has nothing to do with Freemasonry, and it's just a conspiracy theory. Well, the 33rd degree Freemason of the century also wrote this book about 100 years ago, The Secret Destiny of America. And look at the front cover. And I'll tell you why America is so important for the ultimate goal of the secret society. It's disturbing, but it's also essential in understanding the near future and what's going to take place. So for the Freemasons that still say that this is not a Masonic design, especially this Masonic website called Masonic Info, insisting here that even the eye in the triangle or pyramid is not Masonic. Completely laughable and pure disinformation for the stupid masses. Try arguing against this. This is from a 1960 copy of the New Age magazine, an official organ of the Supreme Council of 33rd Degrees. No higher authority in the United States to speak of the relationship between Freemasonry and the US $1 bill. Masonic symbolism in a $1 bill. Look at them all. 13 leaves, 13 bars, 13 feathers, so on and so forth, and of course, this, the Masonic all-seeing eye, located in the pyramid. So, you think this is a conspiracy theory, or just a plain conspiracy? Well, here's JFK, yes, a Freemason, but one who had enough when he wanted to print money disassociated from the Masonic central banks, just like Abraham Lincoln, and he paid the price for it as well. Listen to the speech we never hear about in school. More proof that they control the education system here and everywhere. Please, just have a quick listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
And they killed him. They killed JFK. We're going to go around about another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to show you the last little video that's 3 minutes. Kardashians. A lot of people said he wanted out. That's why he was hung, supposedly. The link to the full video is X Factor winner reveals world's secret religion. X Factor winner reveals world's secret religion. It's a guy from Australia. Isn't he a fine specimen? LeBron James. Some of these folks are just doing that, somebody said. I've thought the same thing. But, and maybe so, but it's hard for me to believe this many people is not a coincidence. We have a lot of hope. Trump is exposing them, and Jesus is going to crush them. What is 17? How many times has 17 said symbolism will be their downfall? Think about that. Symbolism will be their downfall. For those of you wanting me to fast forward, there's a reason I'm letting it go. Trust me, you need to see this. You need to understand the enormity of this. All seeing eye. 17 is the 17th letter of the alphabet. I can't say it on here. Mark Wahlberg. Joined the club. I don't know who half of them are either, because I don't watch many movies. Neil Young. Bon Jovi. Julia Roberts. Look at that.